All right, so thank you for joining us today. If you're practicing at home, you're going to need 2 blocks for your practice today and a strap. And we'll begin in an easy seat. So just making your way into your seat, allowing your back to rest on the backrest. If you'd like to take a block and set that block in between your back and the back of your seat. Gives a little bit more length to your spine. And then just allowing yourself to settle into your space, your feet to ground into the earth. And if you feel safe and comfortable in closing your eyes down and just taking your gaze internal and slowly melting from the top of your head down through your neck, your shoulders, letting your spine be tall and softening through your sits bones, feeling the connection of your body onto the chair, the feeling of your feet onto the earth. And if you'd like, I'd like to invite you to take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Just tune into the sensation of your heartbeat, the drawing in and out of your breath through your body. In a few moments, I'll guide you through 3 rounds of breath. And for each inhale, I'd like to invite you to breathe all the way down in through the body, in through the lungs, into the belly, and feel your belly hand rising with that breath on the inhale. And as you exhale, just imagine that your body is deflating like a balloon, deflating from the belly down through the lungs and back up into the collarbones. And so together we'll take one cleansing breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, allowing yourself to settle a little bit more deeply into your space. And then we'll begin breathing an inhale for 1, 2, 3. Pause at the top. Let that breath fill the body, the lungs, the belly. And release the breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing your breath at the bottom. And another inhale for 1, 2, 3. And release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And last round, inhaling a little deeper, a little slower for 1, 2, 3. And release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allowing yourself to feel more calm, more centered, taking your hands down to your lap. Just a moment of gratitude, sending that gratitude to your heart space, all around your entire body, and sending gratitude to your other yogis, your other friends in the room. And if you're practicing at home, sending gratitude around your house to any pets that you have, any family members that may or may not be present. Just taking that moment to set that intention for health and well-being for yourself and for all. Allowing your eyes to gently float open. And if you still have the block behind you, taking the block from behind and setting it there onto the mat. And then scooting a little towards the edge of your seat so you have some room between your spine and the back of the seat. Letting your hands rest there onto the tops of your thighs. We'll do some seated cat-cows. Inhaling, drawing the heart space forward, tilting your tailbone up, squeezing the shoulder blades, $1 million trapped up in there. And exhaling, arching and rounding the back, tucking your tail under, your chin towards your chest. Maybe you even lean back a little bit into your seat so you can get some rounding into the upper part of your spine. Inhale, drawing the heart space forward, seated cow. Exhale, rounding and arching for seated cat. Through our practice today, we're working on building strength and resiliency, continuing your movements, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. We'll also be working into the core, so activating our core muscles, doing some movements that will bring some strength into the core. You might feel sore after practice, maybe for the next few days. And taking one more full breath in, finding your cow. One more exhale, finishing out your circuit. And then we'll come to a neutral spine, sitting up nice and tall. From here, we'll move into some yogi circles. So finding that root down through the feet into the ground. Setting my blocks off to the side. Lengthen through your spine as you inhale. And exhale, lean over to the right side. Hinging forward on your inhale, exhaling as you lean back. Some big circles, they can be big as is comfortable in the body, or they might be a little bit smaller circles, just taking it to the degree that you feel comfortable in your body. And being mindful of your movement, bringing into your body and your awareness that superpower of awareness. One more circle in this direction. And then when you come back to neutral, pause. And then reverse direction. And notice what might shift as you move in this direction. Maybe it feels differently in the body. Maybe something fires up different than it did in the other way. Remember to breathe through your movement. One more circle, then coming back to stillness and taking just a moment to allow your body to settle in here. We're going to take some side stretches next. If you'd like to take your blocks and bring them to the side of your chair, you can. Rest your fingers on those blocks, or you can hold onto the chair, whatever feels best for you. Letting your arms float down to the sides of the body. Inhale as you lift the arms up overhead. And exhale as you take the right hand down, let it rest there on the block or grab a hold of the chair. And lifting the left side up and over. And taking any variation that feels good, your hand can be on the back of your head. You can cross the arm over the shoulder. You can bring it to your waist. Whatever variation that feels good, as you let the left side of your sits bones, the left glute, glue right back down into the chair, reaching to the right. Inhaling, coming back up, both arms reach once again to the sky. Exhale, left hand floats down, right arm reaches up and over. Right sits bones glued into the seat as you reach to the left. Again, any variation that feels good in your body to honor where you're at today. And we'll flow this one time each side. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, right hand floats to the ground, to the mat. Left hand reaches up and over. Inhale, floating both hands to the sky. Exhale, opposite direction. And inhale, coming back up. Take a little cactus of the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, send your heart space, your sternum forward, lifting up. And inhale, bringing your arms out in front of you. Palms down, and then draw the shoulders back into their sockets. We're already going to start working a little bit into the core. So nice tall spine to begin with. And then Tuck the tailbone under, tuck your chin under as you arch back, reach your fingers forward. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, neutral. So finding that tilting of the tailbone, the concave sensation into the belly, and using your core. Remember your breath, exhaling to crunch, inhaling to lift. And keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crunch and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Let your arms float back down to the sides. Take some shoulder circles. Little movement of the shoulders. Maybe they just lift, drop. Maybe they roll. Letting those traps start to open and release. All right, working a little bit more into the core. I laugh because it's going to be fun. It's going to be kind of a challenge too. All right, coming back into some stillness here. And then taking your hands to the back of your head. However it works for you. And then sitting nice and tall into the spine. See if you can open the elbows just a little bit out. And what we're going to do is lift the right leg and take the left elbow and try to tap elbows or elbows to knees. It's okay if you don't touch, just rotating and tapping, rotating, imagining you're tapping. Exhaling as you crunch and rotate. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you crunch. Inhale as you open. And in between, as you come back to the neutral position, bring that straight spine. Find that spine once again. Don't let your core get tired. I know it's going to be. Try to maintain that strength, the resiliency of the mind. Strength of your wisdom to know if anything IQ doesn't work for you, to take the variation that does. Keep your body safe. And nice slow breaths, concentrated for 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Release the arms down. Maybe grab a hold of the sides of the chairs and send the heart space forward, stretching into the front side of the body, a curve of the lower spine. Perhaps the eyes go up towards the stars. And exhale. Take it to a forward fold, letting your hands reach down towards the ground. If you'd like to bring your blocks up there to rest your fingers on. Little seated child's pose. And if you're reaching down towards the ground and it becomes uncomfortable, you can even take your elbows to your thighs and bring your hands to a prayer position, resting your forehead there onto your hands, allowing it to be a little bit more restorative. Couple slow, intentional breaths here, breathing deep into the back of your body. Imagining that you're breathing that breath along the length of your spine and expanding your rib cage at your back on your inhales and a little deflating with your exhales. One more slow breath in. And exhale. Your next inhale, slowly coming back up, one hand to one thigh, the other hand to the other thigh, coming back to a seated position. Just check in. How are you feeling? Want to go some more? All right, let's do it. All right, this is going to be a fun one. We're going to we're going to alternate our legs. Left leg's going to stay down, planted into the ground first. We're going to lift our arms up overhead or bring the hands to your shoulders or whatever feels good for you. And then extend the right leg long out in front of you. And if your arms are up or if they're at your sides or at your shoulders, we're going to crunch in and bring that knee to that crunching position. If your arms are up, we're going to crunch down. Right leg first, so isolated into the right side, crunching. If your hands are there, giving yourself a hug, you're just bringing that crunch into where you're in between your elbows or close to the elbows. Aiming for that direction. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch it out. And release that side. How is that right side feeling? A little intense? I'm going to stretch it out here. All right, let's heel toe the feet over towards your left side. And then we'll take that right knee and bring it down towards the ground. Heel is going to stack over the toes. Left hand is going to be grabbing a hold of the chair. Right hand is going to come out in front of you, palm up. Inhale and exhale, reverse. Feel that stretch there along the whole right side, the front side of that leg. And inhale, coming back out of this posture. Bring that right leg back up to meet the left. And then heel, toe, one heel, one toe, 1 foot lift at a time all the way back to the front. That way you get some activation of the calves and the shins. How's that feel? A little better? A little wild on that side? All right. All right, let's do this same thing on the other side. Same thing, you can have your arms like a hug, or you can engage a little bit more heat. Bring those hands down as you crunch. Whatever feels the best for you, finding the variation. Right foot stays rooted in, left leg kicks out, and exhale as you crunch. Inhale, extend, exhale, crunch. And extending and crunching. So not only is this core, but it's working the hip, flexors. And as you lift up, come back to that straight spine. For 5, keep crunching. For 4, 3, 2, last one, crunch. Extend. Let it go. Whew. Let's take that stretch on the other side. Heel toe the feet over towards the right. Right hand, right arm is going to be at the back of the chair. Left knee is going to float down towards the ground. Heel is going to stack over the toes. And then extend your left hand out in front of you, palm up as you inhale, exhale, reverse, high five the wall behind you. Feel that stretch along the whole left side of the front leg, front side of the left leg. Inhale, coming back up out of this position, taking your left knee back to meet the right. And then we'll heel toe, feet back towards the front. Whew. How's it feeling? A little wild? Need a windshield wiper? Good opportunity to get a little sip of water if you need some water. Got a few more movements here before we make our way to stand. Whew. All right. So your blocks might be in the way for this one. So I'm going to set mine out here in front, and I'm going to use them as kind of a guide. They can be on any height setting, high, medium, or low. We're going to take the feet wide, toes out, heels in, and then finding your space here on the chair so your sits bones are firmly planted. We're going to activate this core muscle. And in order to make this movement a little safer, you can hold on to the chair, hold on for dear life. And first we'll root down through the left foot. We're going to lift the right leg up and over to meet the left foot. And lift up, open, and let it come down. And then we'll take the left foot up, over and across to meet the right foot. Lifting up and open. Same thing, just keep moving. Might be a little uncoordinated at first, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to remember how to move. What does our mind tell our body to do, and how often does our body not listen? For me, it's been a lot lately. Up and over, nice and concentrated. Tall, straight spine. Don't let your core get soft in this posture. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, touch down, and then come back to this wide-legged stance. Taking the hands to the insides, to the tops of the thighs, fingers to the inside. We're going to sit tall in the spine first, and as we exhale, we're going to drop the right shoulder down towards the middle, lifting the left shoulder, peeling your gaze over your left shoulder. Inhaling back to neutral. Exhale, dropping the left shoulder in, peeling your gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, peel. And lift and peel, remembering your breath. And notice if there is space within you where you can take this into a little deeper twist, maybe a little bit more gentle, depending on what your body needs. And a few more. Dropping the shoulder in, peeling your gaze. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, coming back to neutral. Whew. Keeping the feet wide. Reach down for the blocks and set them on their highest setting, right in between the feet. Take a little seated sun A movement here. Allowing your hands to float to the sides of the body. Inhale as you lift your fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, squeeze the shoulders, send the heart forward. Squeeze the $1 million in between the shoulders. Maybe your gaze goes up. Inhale, lifting the fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let your hands come down to those blocks. And if your fingers are touching the blocks, maybe you can bend the elbows a little, drop the heart space a little bit more in between the knees. Taking it to the degree that feels the best in your body. And straightening the arms a little bit, keeping the hands resting there on the blocks. We'll take a little rotated twist, taking your left hand, rooting it in through the block, and reaching the right fingers up towards the sky, or right hand to your waist. Whatever feels good for you, taking this twist, seated twist, rotation. A breath in to lift the right fingers a little higher, lift the shoulder open a little more. Exhale, right hand comes back down and switches places there with the left hand. Inhale as you lift the left fingers up towards the sky, or take your hand to your waist, or to the back of your head. Inhale as you take this, reaching the fingers up or opening the shoulder a little more. Exhale, left hand floats back down to the ground. And inhale, one hand to one thigh, other hand to the other thigh, rise slowly, straight spine. Peel heel toe back together. Take a moment to notice how you might be feeling. Set these blocks off to the side. We're going to use them in a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and stand up. We're not getting up any way fancy today, just standing up. And as you stand, take a moment, wiggle it out, move it out. Feet are going to be about hip width distance apart. We're going to make our way to our chair here in just a little bit. But before we get to using our real chair, we're going to sit down in an imaginary chair. Got a couple variations. All right. Finding this softness through the shoulders, letting your core tighten, activating this transverse abdominis. This is the muscle in between the belly button and the pelvic bones. Letting your hands float to the sides of the body. Taking just a moment to anchor in through your feet, bringing your feet hip width distance apart. So that's going to be two of your fists bumped together in between your feet. That way you have a nice feet like the number 11. All right, inhale, lifting the arms up and out in front of you. Activate this core muscle, draw the shoulders back into their sockets. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, sit down in your chair. Not actual chair, just your imaginary chair. As you're sitting in your imaginary chair, pull in the transverse abdominis. You'll neutralize your spine. Knit in your lower rib cage so it neutralizes the upper part of your spine as well. And then shift your energy back into your heels and sit down just a little bit more. What do you got? A little bouncy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise. Exhale, let that go. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. All right, let's do it one more time. Inhale, lifting the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands reach out in front of you, palms down, shoulders come back into their sockets. Activate your core as you inhale. Exhale, sit down in your imaginary chair. Neutralize the tailbone. In your neutralizing of the tailbone, you're activating your transverse abdominis, but you're not scooping it under. So it's not a scooping or a curving. It's just activating and knitting the rib cage down. Sitting down just a little bit lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise. Exhale, let that go. Whew. All right, taking your chair and bringing it to the top of your mat. Guess I'll turn this way. And standing so that the tall side of your chair is behind you. All right. We're going to take a wide-legged stance to begin with. So turning so that your right hand is at the back of your chair and turning to face this side of the room. I'm going to come over here so you all can see me. All right, so turning nice and wide. Toes are going to be a little out. Heels are going to be a little in. All right, lifting the arms up, finding your star pose, activating this core muscle. And then exhaling, bending your knees, bending your arms, finding a goddess pose or a horse pose. Pull in the transverse abdominis, neutralize the tailbone. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, goddess. Stay in your goddess pose for just a little bit. Extend your arms out straight on either side, palms up. Staying in this goddess, neutralize the tailbone by drawing in your transverse abdominis, and then reach all the way to the right side. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, reach. Inhale, back to neutral. Just gliding back and forth, reaching your fingers in opposite directions. Engaging your feet like you're going to rip that mat apart for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to neutral. Star pose, lifting the arms, straightening the legs. Exhale, hands come back down. Take a big breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to take this into a lunge. So taking your right toes and pointing them towards the back of the chair. Left toes are also going to turn in just a little bit to like a warrior two stance. And then bending into the right knee. And as you bend into your right knee, just make your alignment so that your knee is directly over your ankle. So if you have a knee where it's over your toes, that's not going to give your knee support. So you might need to walk the foot out a little further. Find that even stance. Hand on the back of the chair, lift the left palm up towards the sky and reach it up and over. Any variation that feels good, you can even take a bind with that hand behind your back. Take the hand to the back of your head. Now, as you're taking this stretch, press down through the pinky edge of your back foot and imagine that you're stretching and lengthening along the whole left side, stretching the whole left side up and over. Inhale, coming back up, straightening that leg, and then heel toeing, stepping the back foot to meet the front. How did that feel? Still alive? Okay. All right, good. Oh, I had 3 of those in there. You're all like, oh no, oh no. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and move on to something different. All right, we're gonna also do it on the other side. So turn around so that your right hand, yeah, we gotta get both sides. So turning around so that your left hand is now at the back of the chair. And then left toes are gonna be towards the chair, right toes towards the side of your mat. Basically a warrior two. And then bending into that left knee. So with that left knee bent, find the stacking of the knee over the ankle. And then when you're ready, lift the right hand up and reach over and across. If you'd like to take the bind with your arm behind your back, still holding on to the chair. Taking what feels safe in your body. Pressing down through this outside pinky edge of your right foot, reaching through the hip and across, broaden across the shoulders, stretching that whole right side. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale, stepping the back foot to meet the front. Coming back to close, back foot meets the front, coming back to the back of your chair. All right. Wiggle it out. How's the knees feeling? Not bad. All right. We're going to do some kickbacks next. So standing, so both of your fingers are at the back of your chair. And we're going to root down through the left foot first, and then bend the right knee, flex your right foot. So bringing the knees together as close as you can get the knees. And then take a look down. Is your right knee in front of your left knee? Can you bring that knee back to meet your left knee so that they're both in line? Activate this core muscle. And we're going to kick straight back with that right foot. So kick back and bring it back together, back into alignment. Kick back and bring it back. Exhaling as you kick, inhaling as you connect. Kick and connect, really working into the glutes, the hamstrings. Tightening up that core, straight spine. 5, 4, 3. I know it's burning. 2. Finish strong. Last one. Kick and bring it back together. Then straighten that leg. Let the foot connect there with the ground. How's that feeling on that side? It's awake. You're aware of it, huh? That's what we want. A little awareness. We'll stretch them out in just a moment. If you need to stretch now, take that moment too. And when you're ready, we'll take this left or right leg back, root that down into the ground, bend the left knee and bring the knees into alignment, flex that back foot. Activate the core muscle. And inhale, exhale, kick. Inhale, come back together. And kick back. Kick back. Might feel a little different on this side, might be a little more challenging, might be easier. Just noticing and observing what is that you need to not only honor yourself, but also take yourself to your edge, that Goldilocks sweet spot where you're not efforting too much and you're not having it be too easy. Activate the core. Keep kicking for 5, 4, 3, 2, last kick, and then bring the knees together, step down. Whew. Take a moment. Maybe we need a little down dog, taking both hands to the back of the chair, and then stepping your feet back, keeping that micro bend in the knees, sending your tailbone long back towards the back of the room, stretching the fingers towards the front, little to no weight in your hands as you stretch back. Inhale, slowly walking back up. Whew. And taking your right foot a little closer to the chair. Left foot steps back about 1.5 of your feet, moving into a pyramid pose. Feet are going to be on 2 railroad tracks. So if they're stepping one in front of the other, it's going to be a little wobbly. So separating those feet, toes are pointing generally towards the front side. And if you'd like a little bit more strength in this posture, inhale as you lift the arms up towards the sky, or you can bring the hands to the waist, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips as you hinge forward. And let your hands rest there on the back of the chair or the seat of the chair. You feel that stretch. And try to square your hips to the ground, so shifting your weight a little forward and back until you feel equally balanced on both feet. And inhale slowly, bringing the hands to the waist, rising back up. Stepping the back foot to meet the front. Whew, how you doing? Doing okay? Hip work back there? Right. Take it on the other side. This time the left foot sticks to the front. The right foot steps about 1/2 of your feet back. Hands can come to the waist or arms can reach for the sky, whatever feels best for you. Inhale as you lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. Let your hands come to the back of the chair, the seat of the chair. And then shift your body forward and back so that you feel equally balanced on both of your feet and your hips feel like they're squared to the earth. Getting the proper alignment for the body, the stretch across the hamstrings. Inhale, slowly bringing the hands back to the waist or extending them once again, exiting the same way you came in. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up. And exhale, let your back foot come forward to meet the front. How's it feeling? All right, feeling okay? All righty, all right. Got a couple balancing poses here. We just did a little pyramid. We're going to take it to a warrior 1 or a crescent. So the difference between the two is we'll keep the right foot planted to begin with. We'll step back with the left foot into a crescent warrior. I'm just going to move away from my chair. So crescent is where the back heel is lifted and stacked on top of the toes. Feet are going to be on 2 different railroad tracks. And if that crescent doesn't work in the body, you can move it to a warrior 1 where the distance between the back and the front is shorter and your back heel is there onto the mat. So whatever feels the best in your body. And then when you're ready, lifting one or both arms up towards the sky, letting your shoulders melt away from your ears. Your hands can be there on the chair. And then bend into your knees, bend into your front knee. Activate this core. Imagine that you're pressing down into the mat with both feet and then ripping that mat apart with your feet, giving yourself that stability, that strength. Can you sink down just a little bit more? Inhale, bringing your hands back down to the chair and stepping your back foot to meet the front. Whew, how's it feeling? Checking in. All right, let's do the other side. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps back, either to crescent or to a warrior one, whatever feels the best. And then bending into that front knee. Even the back knee can bend a little. When you're ready, you can lift one or both of your arms, whether your hands on the back of the chair. Activate this transverse abdominis. Pull it in. Shoulders melt away from the neck. And can you sink down just a little bit? Laser-like focus. Attention into the feet. Ripping the mat apart with your feet. Activating that lower half, the isometric stretch in the muscles of the legs. Sinking down just a little bit further for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, hands to the back of the chair, stepping the back foot to meet the front. Whew, dance it out, wiggle it out. Whatever you need. All right, let's take one more down dog. Taking your hands to the back of the chair and then walking back, micro bend in the knees, sending your tailbone long back behind you, stretching out the lower back, little to no weight in the fingers, the hands touching the chair, reaching back opposite directions. And inhale slowly, slowly, walking back forward to meet the back of your chair. All right, one more little balancing pose here. So taking your block and taking the block right in between the thighs, not up like you're riding on the block and not down by your knees, but right there in between the thighs, feet like the number 11. And we'll just stand here in mountain for a moment, finding your energy, finding your center. Maybe you scoot a little back and forth or weave a little back and forth onto your mat until you feel equally balanced on both of the feet. And then when you find that equal balance, we'll tune into the bottoms of the feet, rooting down through the earth, and then drawing your awareness up through the legs, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the thighs, squeezing your energy into those blocks. Engaging the hips towards one another, pulling in the transverse abdominis, squeeze the glutes, lower, strong half, squeezing into those blocks. In a few moments, we're going to lift the heels up off of the ground, still applying the squeeze into the legs. And what I'd like you to concentrate on as you lift is keeping your head stacked over your shoulders and over your waist. So imagining that there's a string tied to your favorite star directly above you. And as you lift up, you're keeping that string tight as you lift straight up. So I see a lot of yogis leaning forward, and that causes you to lose balance. So try to keep the head stacked. Activate this core muscle. When you're ready, inhale, keep the squeeze to lift up the heels. The squeeze into the blocks helps to keep the ankles stable. You can lift as much as you'd like or as low as you'd like, taking it up and down as often as you'd like. Maybe it's just the thought of lifting off of the ground. Maybe you're lengthening through the spine. Squeezing into the block. Maybe you take it a little higher. Maybe you hold it at the top a little longer. Maybe just one finger is on the chair. Keep squeezing into the block for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down. Set that block off to the side. Whew. Take a little moment to wiggle it out. And then drawing your chair back to the back of your mat, we're going to sit back down. But before you sit down, I always like to take a tightrope, one foot in front of the other, all the way to the top of the mat. Challenging your balance even more. It's a good thing we don't walk like this. Good thing nobody's been drinking. And when you get to the front, to the top, then back all the way up into your seat. And oh, thank goodness, that part's over. Take a slow, deep breath in, a little sip if you need. We're going to stretch the hamstrings a little bit more. So if you have your strap, wherever your strap might be, and then taking your blocks and setting them out in front of you on their low setting. And scooting towards the edge of your seat so that you have some room on your seat to move. Left leg is going to stay nice, 90-degree angle, stacked knee over the ankle, and then extending the right leg long and wrapping that strap around the bottom of the right foot. So your right leg is nice and long, keeping just a little micro bend in the knee, not to lock the knee out, just a little bend, keeping the knee a little soft. Inhale to lengthen the spine, shoulders soft, melted away from the ears. Exhale, engage your biceps. Bring your sternum and your heart forward towards your toes, flexing your right toes. So using the engagement of the strap, heel stays there connected to the block. As you lean forward, pull into the strap. Lead with your heart. Slow breath in, slow that breath down. Inhales for 3, exhales for 6. One more round of breath. And release that strap. Slowly make your way back up out of this posture. And bending that right knee. If it feels good, to give it a little stretch, maybe a little hip circle. Take a moment to feel into what you might need here. Now we'll take this stretch onto the other side. So right leg stays at this 90-degree angle. Left foot meets that block. And the strap wraps around the bottom of the left foot. Soft knee, so you're not locking that knee out. Inhale to straighten the spine, lengthen the spine. Exhale, engage the biceps to draw your heart forward towards your toes, flexing the foot. Toes flex back towards your nose as you engage the biceps to lengthen the spine, hinging forward, feeling that stretch along the back side of your left leg. Couple slow breaths here. Notice if your shoulders are up by your ears. See if you can soften the shoulders and just engaging the biceps. One more slow round of breath. And let that breath go. And on your next inhale, slowly releasing that strap. And taking that left leg up, maybe a hip circle, maybe a flex, whatever feels good there in the body. And set that strap off to the side. Whew. All right, we're going to get a little twist in here, keeping the knees, the feet, the knees at a 90-degree angle with the legs. Sit nice and tall on the spine as you inhale. Exhale, take the right hand and reach for the back of the chair. Left hand reaches across the leg. Little twist. And in your twist, lead with your heart. Use your heart to rotate towards your right side. The leverage of your hand and on your leg and on the chair can help deepen the twist. Every inhale, lengthening your spine. Every exhale, rotating a little deeper. Inhale, slowly unwind, coming back to the front. Inhale to lengthen the spine once again. Exhale, take the left hand and reach for the back of that chair. Right hand across the left side. Lengthening the spine with every inhale. And every exhale, leading with your heart towards the left side a little deeper. Inhale, unwind, coming out of this just the same way you came in. Slow breath in and a slow breath out. We'll take a wind removing pose next. Left leg stays at a 90-degree angle, and then reaching down to grab a hold of the right leg, either the back of the leg or the shin, and then draw that leg in towards your body. And then take a few ankle circles. And then releasing your wind removing pose, but don't set the leg down. Let's take this right leg open and close using the support of your arm. A little open and close, windshield wipers. And then from here, we'll move into a figure 4. So one more open, one more close, and then reaching for your figure 4, taking that right ankle across the left thigh. A couple of different variations. If that doesn't work, you can take your foot up onto a block, or you can extend that leg long, cross that ankle over the thigh or the shin. In your figure 4, lengthen that spine, sitting nice and tall. And then bring your awareness to the outside of your right leg. So just draw your awareness there and see if there's opportunity to soften that leg. Softening the shoulders, the elbows, inhaling to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, lean forward just until you find that edge, till you feel that right side tighten up again, and then just let it be. Pause there and allow that side to soften just a little bit more. That right side to ease down. Giving ourselves the 90 seconds of stretching here activates the fibroblasts, which bring more collagen and elastin, more hyaluronic acid into the joints, more hydration to the muscles. Shoulders melting down, softening the jaw, the tongue, softening the right side. One more slow round of breath. And on your next inhale, sitting back up, releasing your figure 4 on this side. Just take a moment. What do you need? A little windshield wiper, a movement. Let that side release. And then we'll take figure 4 on the other side. It may be different. Well, not figure 4 yet. Wind removing pose first. Left leg 90, or right leg, excuse me, my words. Right leg 90 degree, left leg reaches up and in. Either grabbing the hamstring or the shin. A few ankle circles on this side. Whatever feels good here. And then finding stillness, bringing that leg down just enough to where you can open it and close it, using the support of your hand, the support of your arm to open and close the hip. And one more open, one more close, then finding your figure 4 modification or adjustment on this side. And then take a moment to allow that awareness to go to the left side. See if you can soften consciously the left hip, the left leg. And then when you're ready, inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward until you feel that whole left side tighten up again, finding that edge, that Goldilocks sweet spot. And then see if you can soften back down the shoulder, the tongue. One more slow breath in and out. And your next inhale, sitting back up, releasing your figure four on this side. If it feels good, a few windshield wipers, nice and slow. And then finding some stillness there in your body, maybe scooting back into your seat a little bit. Take a few shoulder movements here. Just take a moment to wiggle out the body, wiggle out the arms. If it feels good to roll the shoulders. And then give yourself just an opportunity here to tune in. What do you need? What is it that your body's calling for? Maybe it's a few neck rolls. Maybe you need to dance it out. Just let it be whatever it is. A few moments to acknowledge what your body's calling for. And every time you acknowledge what your body needs, you build a little more trust with yourself. And finding one more breath to finish out this circuit. And then finally moving to a place of stillness, making your way to your favorite Shavasana shape, whatever that might be. Maybe a block behind the back, maybe your feet resting up on blocks. Whatever allows you to feel the most comfortable in your body, the most settled into your space. And then slowly start to melt down if you feel safe and comfortable, closing the eyes down and allowing your body to drift softly downward, connecting into the earth, softening through the shoulders, the belly, the arms, the fingers, the legs, and your feet. Taking in a soothing breath of fresh air. And as you exhale, making your way to Shavasana. Slowly returning to the awareness of your breath. Deepening your inhales, your exhales. Inviting tiny micro movements to the body, the wrists, the fingers, the toes, the body. Perhaps taking your head side to side. If it feels good in the body, letting the arms float down and bringing them up overhead. A good day stretch, reaching all the way to the stars as you inhale. And exhale, bringing your hands down into your heart space, sealing all of your transformation in your heart for all your days. We'll close from a little quote from Notes from the Universe by Mike Dooley. Nothing you will ever do, or be, or have, no matter how stunning and spectacular, will ever compare to your achievement of being here at all. Don't put off celebrating the little stuff. It's your achievement as well. And if it's in your practice to draw your thumbs to your forehead, your third eye, we'll bow towards the divine light within each of us. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.